How dumb can Jordan Addison be? For real, how dumb can he be? Um, so we had the tragic news that Kyrie Jackson, the fourth round pick by the Minnesota Vikings in this year's draft, was killed in a drunk driving accident. Him and two of his high school teammates were killed. Him and one of them were dead at the scene, and the other one died at the hospital, or was pronounced dead at the hospital, I believe. So, and none of them were drinking, as far as I've seen. So it's horrible, and I did see today on social media that the Vikings will pay out the remainder of Kyrie's bonus to his estate, and which they are under no obligations to do. And the players are going to wear KJ decals on their helmets, and the coaching staff will wear pins of the same logo. So they're going to honor KJ this season. So let's talk about Jordan Addison. Jordan Addison was arrested under suspicion of being under the influence of alcohol. He was found asleep in his car. It was a little bit of, I guess, variation in reporting. Some people said it was a Rolls Royce, and some said it was a Lamborghini. So there's a big difference between the two, but basically, it was an expensive car. That was the unanimous. He was in his very expensive car, and so they found him asleep behind the wheel at an airport, I believe, and so and whatever, if they gave him sobriety test, breathalyzer, whatever. So he was arrested under suspicion of being behind the wheel under the influence. So that was maybe a week or so after Kyrie passed. How dumb can you be? Like, that is a legitimate question. How utterly stupid can you be? You have a teammate who was just killed by someone driving under the influence. And now you're going to be asleep in your car under the influence. Now, he's behind an airport, at an airport, something. How did he get there? He probably drove his damn car from wherever he was drinking to there. So, a week after you have a teammate killed by a drunk driver, you go and drunk drive yourself. Now, if there's been any updates to information and I haven't seen it, I apologize. I apologize. If there's been updates to anything and I have not seen it. But so far, I have not seen updates. So I'm going off what I have seen on socials. And again, part of that, you can lie with that, but I try to follow the actual NFL insiders. And I watch a ton of stuff on YouTube between different sports talk shows and everything. So I'm pretty good when it comes to information. I don't just trust anything. When I hear it coming from someone in the know, that's when I trust it. So it's just, it is unbelievable. It really is. It is so unbelievable. And he had something last year he got in trouble for as well. So right now he's sort of starting to develop a pattern or a reputation of you're in the off season, in between things, mini camp, training camp, whatever, and you can't help but get into trouble. Like, I understand this is the time, this small slot between mandatory minicamp and training camp, this small little gap here. This is the time, the only time you're going to have to spend it with your family, with your friends, before the season starts. Because then once training camp starts, you're in training camp, preseason, season starts. And then you're busy until minimum January. And if you make it that far, February. So, like, I understand, and people will go on vacations with their families. They'll say, okay, honey, you, me, the kids, we're going to go to Disney World for a week or two. It's going to be our big family vacation before the season starts. Because then once the season starts, I'm way too busy, blah, 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 blah. And people do that. I am perfectly okay with that. That is your own personal time. And if Jordan wants to hang out with friends, if he wants to hang out with family, if he wants to go have a couple of drinks with his buddies, hey, the season's going to start, guys. I'm not going to be able to go get drinks with you. Let's go out, and have some fun. That is perfectly fine. Call a fucking Uber. Have a DD. It's not that complicated. It is not. So he's going to have to deal with these ramifications. He's going to have to deal with the punishment. And I don't know. We're going to have to keep an eye on Jordan Addison next year too. Because then next year, if he has a problem, then he just can't help himself when he's not being supervised. And then at that point, you almost have to treat him like a child and supervise him all the time. And no one wants to do that. Nobody wants to. So, Jordan Addison, dude, grow up. Grow up. Okay? Your teammate died because of a drunk driver.